There is a apocryphal story that if the husband comes to the wife's house one night and he finds that is not as chapels. In those days we used to have wooden clogs. I don't know whether you have seen it. A wooden this thing with a spindle on top. Sannyasis use it. So that is kept at home because when he comes here he puts that on and walks about. See, if he finds that outside, it's a hint that the lady doesn't want the connection to continue. A Nair Tarwad is just a Hindu undivided family, except that instead of all the members on the male line, this is constituted by all the members on the female line. All the women's sons, and all the women's daughters and the daughters' children, like that. And the reason why our peculiar system of marriage came up, one important reason is that among the Nampudiris who were the social leaders in Malabar, only the eldest male could marry. A sacramental marriage was permitted only to the eldest. A sacramental marriage with a Nambudiri woman was only for the eldest male. So all the other men had to look for concubinage with Nair women. And they had no responsibility at all for the children. That was a very good thing from their point of view. And from the from the women's point of view also, it didn't matter much because marriage made no difference at all to their financial, economic status or nothing. From birth to death, they are members of the same house. So which gave them a lot of security. And as far as marriage is their marriage is concerned, it was a free contract, which either party could annul. In the case of the male, he could annul it at any time. The female, I suppose, had some restraint because she had to go by what the eldest male member, who was a manager of the family, what he had to say and what her elders had to say. But in practice, it was a free and easy contract. And the marriage consisted only of the man coming from his house. Mostly the house was nearby. Nearby meaning 2 or 3 miles. If it was longer and if the husband was well-to-do, he used to have a palanquin and people to carry him about. Otherwise, walking 3 miles was nothing much in those days. So he would come to the wife's house after his night meal. And after spending the night with the wife, he would go back early in the morning back to his own house because that is where he belonged. I don't think he had much of a connection with his children.
Marriage in Nairs, it's not sacramental, there is no priest, but it is sort of contract between the two persons. But of course, the head of the family decides whom to marry and all. Actually, like everybody everywhere else in India, the girl has not much to say about it. The head of the family decides whom to marry and the girl marries, but it's only a contract and it can be annulled any time.
So, but the system of inheritance is how? Through the woman or through the man?
Through the woman. The woman, the head of the family, the whole property is in the name of the head of the family, the woman, not the man. The women own the property. In the olden days, of course, nowadays it is nuclear family and they can will it, but I am saying about the olden days. The family property, even now, the family property is now it is divided equally between the male members and the female members, but in the olden days, of course, the women has to sign, otherwise they can't sell or buy any property.
I think it was good for women because women had security then. Now women, when they are alone, they don't have anybody to lean back upon. Of course, there are more comforts now, but because of that system, there's some elder people in the family, and
Where would the power, actual power lie with?
actual power lies with the male member, the senior most member of the house.
Sarva property was impartible until 50 years ago, when an act was passed making it permissible to partition. Now that act was passed because many of the senior male members, the managers, they misused their authority to alienate land in various underhand ways. And secondly, the young males who were educated, they went out far away to Madras and Delhi on jobs, and they had no interest at all in the Tarwar property at home. So they said, I want my share, and so 50 years ago an act was passed permitting partition of Tarwars.
Marimakata means the property belongs to the women, and the name of the family goes from mother to daughter instead of father to son. So all the women, carries the name, not the men. Birth of the girl is more rejoiced than a birth of the son. Of course, male members, when there is a son, there is always joy in the house. But equal joy is there when a girl is born also. When there are no girls, the family name is gone. So they have to be girls. So girls are very much respected and